Alright guys, Gemini, back with another video. I hope you guys are all having a nice day. I'm going to show you guys something, and I'm going to tell you guys a little story here. It's going to knock you back a little bit. Probably not going to believe it. You don't have to believe me, and that's fine. When I was at Wrestlecon this past San Jose, I was up there with my buddy Miguel, and we were talking to Shane Douglas, and he signed my DVD for me, and I'll tell you what, man, Shane Douglas, wow. This guy, I mean, you say whatever you want about the franchise Shane Douglas, but Shane Douglas was a pleasant surprise. He was by far the coolest guy that I met at WrestleCon. Literally, I mean, to hear the conversation that Shane Douglas was having with me and Miguel, you know, freaking yeah, was just off the charts for him to take time, you know, and talk to us like that. He was talking to us all about how WWE doesn't have health care and possible plans for Shane Douglas to get a wrestling promotion going in the future. And he was talking about how he has a possible investor, you know, in Los Angeles, and it was pretty intense to listen to Shane Douglas, the franchise, probably the best champion in ECW history, stand in front of us and shoot the breeze on and the first thing he does, guys, when he looks at this is he looks at this and he goes, "Now that's a suplex." And I mean, none of the other wrestlers were doing stuff like that. You know, I mean, and Shane Douglas was literally, I kid you not, he was standing there and he was calling me and Miguel on a first name basis. And it was an off the charts experience to hear what was going on in Shane Douglas's mind. I mean, he was talking to me and Miguel about the triple threat with Shane Douglas and Bam Bam Bigelow, and just telling us about how when he was in the triple threat, that was the funnest time in his career, and how much he looked up to Candido and Bam Bam Bigelow. I mean, we probably stood there for a good 20-25 minutes just marking out because we couldn't believe that we were talking to Shane Douglas about inside stuff when it comes to pro wrestling. It was unbelievable to get inside of Shane Douglas's mind like that and hear him just talk about some of the people he looked up to in the wrestling business, talk about what's going on in the wrestling business. So say whatever you want about the franchise Shane Douglas, say whatever you want, you know, YouTube, whatever, you know, oh, he's an asshole, and oh, I hate that guy, and oh, he sucked, and oh, he wasn't really at WrestleMania, he was only wrestling. Say whatever you want. He's a straight up good dude who loves the fans, takes care of the fans, you know, and he actually says to me, he goes, "Haven't I seen you somewhere before?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I make wrestling videos on the internet." And he goes, "Ah," and I was like, "You probably watched my ECW video on this." "Yeah." So me to stand in front of Shane Douglas and get spotted from my YouTube videos while he's pouring out all this inside stuff, you know, the autograph, whatever, $10. I mean, but past that, the experience to be with the guy for 20-25 minutes just pouring his heart out about the wrestling business, and a guy who didn't have to, you know, a guy who didn't need to. He needed nothing from me and Miguel. He could have been like most of the other wrestlers and just stood there and took our money and signed our thing or whatever. Like, that's how it was with Bischoff. He just took my money, and I was trying to talk to him about WCW, but I really couldn't get inside. And you know, a lot of the wrestlers, you know, you just met and they wouldn't let you inside. But Shane Douglas, I mean, he literally, if you're at a WrestleCon, you need to try to meet him. He's straight sitting there and he's dipping on his, you know, whatever, his Longhorn or whatever, and we got him going. Shane Douglas honestly wanted Miguel and myself to come back later and bullshit with him some more. I mean, if I would have bought Shane Douglas a fucking 6-pack of beer, we probably could have hung out with the guy all day. I mean, straight up. I mean, to hang out with the franchise Shane Douglas You know, I could have bought him some beer and some pizza. He's probably the fucking kind of guy who'd come to our hotel and hang out. I mean, he was just, it was amazing to see what was spinning, his wheels spinning like that. Just don't get the wrong ideas about Shane Douglas. I mean, straight up stand up guy. Meet this guy if you got a chance at Wrestlecon. I mean, just a good dude. Will let you in, and you'll learn so much about the wrestling business by just spending 20-25 minutes with him. So this has been Inside Shane Douglas's Mind with Gemini 888. Thank you.